Most people imagine psychopaths as bloodthirsty killers lurking in the shadows, but the reality is far more complex and often far more subtle. Psychopaths walk among us, hiding in plain sight. They can be charming, manipulative, and utterly devoid of empathy or remorse. Their world is a chilling one, devoid of the emotional connections that bind most humans together. Imagine a world without conscience, a world where guilt and empathy are absent. This is the world inhabited by psychopaths. They are the ultimate predators, driven by a cold, calculating logic that defies our understanding. So, buckle up and prepare to delve into the mind of a psychopath. But be warned, once you look into the abyss may also look into you. What exactly defines a psychopath? It's not as simple as pointing to someone who enjoys horror movies a little too much. Psychopathy is a spectrum disorder, meaning it manifests differently in each individual. One of the hallmarks of a psychopath is their profound lack of empathy. They simply cannot understand or share the emotional experiences of others. To them, other people are merely pawns to be manipulated for their own gain. This lack of empathy allows them to engage in morally reprehensible acts without a shred of guilt or remorse. They are masters of deception, able to mimic emotions they don't actually feel in order to disarm and manipulate their victims. Psychopaths believe they are superior beings, above the rules and conventions that govern the rest of society. Psychopaths are often described as wearing a mask of sanity. They are masters of disguise, able to blend seamlessly into society and mimic the behaviors of normal, well-adjusted individuals. This ability to appear charming and charismatic is one of their most dangerous weapons. It allows them to gain the trust of others, often with devastating consequences. However, behind this carefully constructed facade lies a chilling void. Psychopaths lack the capacity for genuine emotional connection. Their relationships are transactional, based on what they can get from others, rather than any true sense of affection or empathy. They are skilled manipulators, able to twist words and situations to their advantage. The question of what creates a psychopath is a complex one, a tangled web of nature and nurture. Some researchers believe that psychopathy is primarily a biological phenomenon, rooted in abnormalities in brain structure and function. Studies have shown that psychopaths tend to have reduced activity in areas of the brain associated with empathy, guilt, and remorse. Others argue that environmental factors play a crucial role in the development of psychopathy. Childhood trauma, abuse, and neglect have all been linked to an increased risk of developing psychopathic traits. It's likely that psychopathy arises from a complex interplay of genetic predispositions and environmental influences. Imagine a child born with a genetic predisposition towards psychopathy, then raised in an environment characterized by violence, abuse, and neglect. However, it's important to remember that not every child who experiences trauma grows up to be a psychopath. Section 5. Infamous faces of psychopathy. The annals of history are littered with infamous names associated with psychopathy. Ted Bundy, the charming and charismatic law student who lured young women to their deaths, is a chilling example of the deceptive nature of this disorder. John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown who tortured and murdered over 30 young men, embodies the dark side of psychopathy. These high-profile cases have captivated the public imagination, painting a picture of psychopaths as monstrous outliers. However, it's important to remember that these extreme cases represent only a small fraction of individuals with psychopathic traits. Many more psychopaths walk among us, their true nature hidden behind a carefully constructed facade of normalcy. Section 6. Living with psychopaths. Living with a psychopath can be a terrifying and emotionally draining experience. They are experts at manipulation, often using charm and deception to control those around them. They may engage in gaslighting, a form of emotional abuse that makes the victim doubt their own sanity. They are masters at twisting words, shifting blame, and denying reality, leaving their victims feeling confused, isolated, and emotionally exhausted. One of the most difficult aspects of living with a psychopath is their complete lack of remorse or empathy. They are incapable of understanding the pain and suffering they inflict on others. Seeking therapy from a mental health professional experienced in dealing with personality disorders can provide you with the tools and support you need. Section 7. The psychopath next door. Psychopaths are not just figures of fiction or inmates in high-security prisons. They exist in our everyday lives, often hiding in plain sight. They could be your colleague, your neighbor, or even someone you consider a friend. Their ability to mimic normal emotions and behaviors makes them incredibly difficult to identify. They often excel in professions that reward ruthlessness and a lack of empathy, such as business, politics, or law enforcement. Be wary of individuals who are overly charming, who seem to lack empathy or remorse, and who are constantly seeking to manipulate or control those around them. Trust your gut instincts. If something feels off about someone, it probably is. Section 8. The importance of awareness. Understanding psychopathy is not about demonizing an entire group of people. It's about shedding light on a complex and often misunderstood disorder. By increasing awareness, we can better identify individuals with psychopathic traits and develop strategies to mitigate the risks they pose. This includes early intervention programs for children who exhibit psychopathic tendencies, as well as developing more effective treatment options for adults. Moreover, understanding psychopathy can help us navigate a world where manipulation and deception are increasingly commonplace. By recognizing the tactics used by psychopaths, we can become more discerning judges of character and less susceptible to their manipulative charms. This knowledge empowers us to protect ourselves and make more informed decisions in all aspects of our lives.